That was L'Oreal. So using Celebrity Anchor, which has also got pain, pleasure, problem, solution, and distinction bias. So it leveraged a lot of the weapons of influence. But the other one that we're looking at today is Jimmy Brings.
Jimmy Brings delivers cold drinks in 30 minutes. Faster than you can master the classic yoga pose, the Aussie pretzel.
I am pretzel. I am pretzel.
Jimmy Brings what you seek.
Complex.
So for me, looking at this one, the timing is absolutely perfect. Like most brands, the number one indicator for their success, if you look at any category, is entry to market, when they actually start their brand and when they entry, and in terms of market conditions. So while we're on lockdown, people are drinking a little bit more than they usually would, and this service absolutely hits home for them. So then they've got Sophie. That's been leveraged to use this, and Sophie's been a lot of creative. So for me, this is actually really interesting because Sophie actually featured in the Uber Eats creative, and this is nearly not an imitation, but it's very similar to what Uber Eats were leveraging with their creative, which was incredibly successful and brilliant concept. Except for me, it fell down in a couple of different areas. So Uber Eats had, a tag where every commercial was tonight I'll be eating, and every creative started tonight I'll be eating X, and it had a celebrity and it just rotated this. But then also it had another anchor which had a doorbell, ding dong, and it was as the Uber Eats bag was literally being dropped onto a bench or a park or whatever was right next to them. So it had this real consistency of theme and a lot of different celebrities, and it was really hit you home. And it also had a range of sort of comedy and brilliant piece of creative. But for this one, it was trying to go down a very similar path. But for me, it kind of really missed the key of what they were trying to do. Deliver cold drinks in 30 minutes. That was what they were trying to do, which is right at the start of the creative. Deliver cold drinks in 30 minutes. And then they also had this screen at the end with no VO, which was deliver, beer, wine, and spirits to your home, cold drinks in 30 minutes. And it kind of missed that disconnect. And also the Jimmy Brings. It had the bag, but for me, it just wasn't as well brand. Like I couldn't really recall what the brand was, but I absolutely knew it was a Sophie Monk creative.
As a pure comparison in terms of how do you use your celebrity, much better usage here than before. Whereas we just saw an Eva Longoria ad. Here, it starts very clear. The first thing out of the gate is, here is our brand, here's what we're doing. She features in the middle, and then it ends by saying, here's our brand, here's what we're going to do. So I think the problems with this commercial don't lie in the way they use the celebrity. They used it well. On a scale, you could probably put Eva Longoria at, B level, Sophie Monk maybe at like a C or a D level. Is it that the higher the celebrity, the more screen time you got to give them, the more focus, which draws way too much attention away from your brand? And only when you get smaller celebrities are you able to say, look, I'm going to put you in a pretzel and I'm going to bookend you with my thing and have a good time with this. There was no mistake to me that she was in a commercial for something, not just her and we're filming her. And oh, by the way, L'Oreal. It's in the front and the end. How are you anchoring your in? How are you anchoring your output? And what I can see is when you were talking about the Uber Eats, I hadn't thought about that. That's a perfect example of this, is you have a system and all you do is cut and chop different celebrities in different situations, but the pattern is the same. And I'm not sure that the pattern is clear enough yet on here. I get what they're going to do, but it's going to take time for this to actually roll out and work.
So they're a beer, wine, and spirits delivery. So you can see the evolution of this. This could be, an NRL player or whoever it may be, or some sort of celebrity, and that's a beer-focused ad. Yeah. Still got the comedy, the lightheartedness, but it's got the anchor, and that's where, for me, it's looking at the anchor that you could have that across a beer commercial, having it across a spirit commercial with different celebrities in the middle, and that's where Uber Eats really nailed it, because they've got the intro and the outro, which really heavily connect the brand. But for me, it's also doorbells. We still have doorbells. People come to the doorbell, and especially for deliveries, whether it's a package delivery, a Uber Eats delivery, whatever it may be, but as soon as that happens and it's a similar sort of doorbell that you hear the Uber Eats, that's just a recall of Uber Eats, like very clever. How do you get a sound that happens in real world and anchor your brand to it? So every time you hear that sound, you're thinking about the product.
If we're going to see the delivery guy, it's either got to be the same guy every time, in which case, who is that guy? And wouldn't you have wished it was the Jimmy Brings face? I mean, their entire logo is the dude's face. They're going to have to play with the delivery guy in terms of this has to be consistent. like the Uber Eats is just a hand that comes on. If since they've put a person in that role, that has to remain consistent. That has to play a purpose in this.
Because it's interesting, 84% of brands on TV or mass media either can't be recalled, they remember the ad, but they can't recall the brand, or even worse, is misattributed to another brand.
To the competitor.
So this could be, oh, I remember the Sophie Monk ad, but they go, that was an Uber Eats ad because it's a similar sort of format. So anything they're investing in media is actually just helping Uber Eats rather than carving out their own territory. I don't know. Trusted advisor.
Trusted advisor. You get the same person who comes in every day, and it's like close up on their face. They give you a wink, camera pans down, and it's Jimmy Brings. Something in there.
Even better with the wink or something if you had it and he's like, Jimmy Brings. Do you know what I mean? And then he gives a wink and then he hands it over. Do you know? And that's your mnemonic and that's your...
You build it in. Doorbell opens the door, and this takes all of 2 seconds. So this isn't changing your ad at all. Starts on the dude's name tag. It's Jimmy. Goes up. It's a beautiful dude. It says Jimmy Brings. Wink. You see the bag. He hands it to you. That's it. Now we've got the same beautiful man every time, and it's like, yeah.